using AI could make things super easy. For example, I could probably hum that riff that I just played and ask AI to play the guitars perfectly for me. And if you were paying attention, I did have some flaws and hiccups there. So, I have the opportunity to go back and double it or fix it. But the point is a real human doesn't necessarily want to make everything perfect. And if we do, I guess using AI would be an option. But we're here to talk about, does AI belong in music? And so Andrew wants to request to join. If that's really you and you want to join me, let me know it by saying, yes, I want to join, because I don't want to just pull somebody onto the stream. But anyway, I'm working on some music, as you can hear, and that's a song that I'm recording and looking forward to putting vocals on and drums and all that stuff and not using AI. So what's going on is, last time we talked about Udio and Suno, and it's just so happens that they're both in some sort of a lawsuit right now. So, like I said before in the past stream, like even in the past few days, things have changed. And people that are starting to use AI more and more, I've also noticed, and maybe you could tell me also, and also in the comments or whatever, can you leave a message saying what your thoughts are? Do you think AI belongs in music, and how? Because I've been noticing a lot of platforms that are kind of restricting, or at least bringing the awareness of, hey, you have to, like, for instance, Instagram actually starts to do it. When I post these, it says, is there's a check that you can pick. Um, was there any AI used to create whatever it is that you're making? So, yeah, so that's where we're at. And I, 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 I think that AI is amazing, and I definitely want to. Oh, thanks. You did great recording something. Yeah, it's a song that I'm trying to finish soon, and I figured it's motivating me to record it live. So not so people. The other thing that AI. Speaking of the last human songwriter, when I write songs, and I think it's very important that for me as an artist, because I've performed a lot, that I can perform what I'm playing. So so as you can see, I was playing, recording, while I just recorded that song. If you watched this earlier, you can see it. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, you have to go to my Instagram channel, because I usually cut the music playing off. Um, Go to Radio on YouTube, or go to Janitas Official on Instagram if you're on, vice versa, and you're watching this, right? But I was thinking about, you know, when I perform, I want to be able to play whatever it is that I'm recording. So it might be fun to write these really cool riffs, but if you can't sing and play them, because I'm going to be putting vocals on as well, and I'm going to have to, it's important that for me that I can play the songs live. So I try to make the songs, I don't want to say easy, but I try to make sure that I can play it. So another good reason of why I'm putting my, it's very nerve wracking, by the way, recording something on a live stream, because everybody's watching you, and it's one take all the way through. Um, and there's many ways to record. We could do it part by part, and typically I like to do that. You know, but on this situation, recording live, all one take, as a human being with flaws including, it's important to be aware, I think, as a recording artist that is looking to perform live, that you are keeping conscious that you're able to perform these parts live. And using AI could inhibit that in a way, because if AI is going to create something like super intricate and amazing, and maybe even something where it's very difficult, to put your fingers on a fretboard if it's happens to do something like spectacular and radical, and you have to, how would you do it? Maybe you get more people in your band. That is a way. But what's the problem with that? Well, the problem is, Zappa is doing it right now. Um, yeah, so Zappa is, his son Dweezil is going on tour, and he's got a band, and he's got all the performers. Frank Zappa used to have like 10, 15 people on stage to play all those little notes. So in a way, Zappa, for many reasons, was ahead of his time, because he was taking compositions that he composed and he was playing them live, but because he was Frank Zappa, he could afford to pay everybody. So an independent artist making music in their bedroom, which is maybe 80%, 70, 80%, maybe more, I don't know. Nothing wrong with that, by the way. I'm doing the same thing, except I'm not in a bedroom. I'm in a room now. It's going to be hard for them to perform those songs live if they have AI helping them, because they're most likely, unless they're pretty wealthy, which is also a great option for people that have money, they can do things. It's going to be difficult to have, oh, I want this player and this player and this player, because I need somebody to play this note and this note on this one part, and then maybe not play anything else for like another 7 or 8 bars. And then I need a xylophone here, or a synth part here, and then this here, and a banjo, and a blah, 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 blah. So it's going to be difficult for people using AI to make music to perform it live, unless they're using tracks, or, hey, Couch Slouch, it's good to see you. Um, yeah, so it's going to be difficult for people using AI to perform live. Of course, I'm not really into the scene of like backing tracks per se. I've worked with them, I've used them, and I see their place. But at the same time, I also feel like, in the style of rock and roll, it's important that we don't lose the integrity of our art, which is based upon human beings. And humans making art is something special. AI helping can very possibly be special, but I'm just trying to figure out how that's going to be special. And right now, I don't want to get sucked in, because it's so easy right now with all these great apps, and for music specifically, it's great that there's all these options that I could use. I could probably have all these songs that I've been working on done 7, 10 days ago, if I was using the help of AI to help me finish them. But that's the thing. I don't want to do that. And I think you deserve, people that are listening to music deserve to hear something authentic. And if I do use AI, I'm going to make sure that I would say that I'm using it. And I also think that a lot of people that are making music right now that aren't saying that they're using AI, they could get in trouble, possibly, in the future, and actually their music could be taken down. So it's kind of important to make awareness of what's going on. It's a very, I know that UMG also is now taking artists and using, and they're basically, what they're doing is they'll take an artist, and then they're letting the artist use some of the tools that the UMG has to offer. I forget exactly what it is, whether it's being able to post music or using whatever it is, but they're making artists agree that if they go along by doing this thing, which is actually very beneficial for artists, if you're a UMG, if you're part of UMG, which is a very big entity, and you want to take a part of this, whatever, you can all do the research more, but basically, if you want to take a part of it, they're saying that you have to sign something that says that they are going to have the ability to copy you using the tool that they give you, because most likely what's going to happen is that this tool that they're offering for these music artists is going to allow them to grow on social media and make these make their music go viral by doing these things. And because of that, they have the ability now to copy every single move that you make with the tools that they're giving you. So now they're saying that the tool we're giving you is going to also entitle us to take you as an artist and everything that you're doing, and we're going to be able to take all that information and all the moves and all the different posts and all the patterns that you're doing, and we're going to copy all that in our AI database. And then thank you, artists, for doing that, because now after we get enough of it and we feel like we're happy with all this information from all these artists that are blowing up and doing all these great things, we're going to start implementing it with our own music, and we're going to grow our UMG base with all of your methods and the things that you've done to blow yourselves up. We're going to do it now, and we're not going to necessarily need you anymore, artists. So in a way, they're enticing people, music artists right now, to do something beneficial for them, which for the most part it should be. This is a very general explanation, but it's interesting. So the artists that take this offer are going to most likely do well, but then they're going to take all of the data that they use for doing well, and they're going to implement that in their own way, very sneaky, and then they're going to start making money, because that's what they're in the business of, and they're going to start making money without the use of certain artists anymore. So AI is not just helping write songs, but it's also helping generate and create artists in general. And it doesn't seem to be going anywhere. Of course, lawsuits and precautions and all these things are you're starting to see them more and more. And I'm not happy or sad that I'm not using AI to write. To be honest, it's the same as it's business as usual, right? Like writing something on a guitar hasn't really changed since what's his name? Bob Dylan started playing electric, right? People started writing songs. So like ever since Bob Dylan started using electric, or Les Paul started using electric guitars, basically if you're writing a song using an electric guitar and recording it, other than the fact that you're able to record it with a digital interface instead of tape reel, there's really not much that's changed. So it's kind of frustrating, and it's kind of harder to sit back and be like, wow, all these great tools for people, helping people write songs and making songs, they're all right here, and everybody's using them, and they're getting better every nanosecond. And it can be frustrating to be here saying, well, but I'm not doing that, and I'm going to make and focus on making art for people, for you, so you can enjoy it, and you can know that it came from a place that wasn't, from some bot or some AI generated field, right? So I'm really happy to do these last songwriter podcasts. This is episode 5. I'm going to make it short and sweet because I want to get back to work and put some more guitar tracks on that, maybe tighten up some of the stuff that I did. But I will leave that up there because I want people to see imperfections. It's very important. And, if I played that live like that, I would probably be happy with it. I would have more energy, of course. And that's the other thing. When a performer plays live for something that they wrote, it can come off so much different. And I could play that same thing so much so different, but with so much more energy and feel. And another reason why I'm messing with recording guitar parts on live streams, because there was definitely some moments in that take that I did earlier where I was feeling some good energy, right? And if I'm just sitting here focused on my computer, and I can get lost, and I could start focusing on stop, play, do it again, stop, play, do it again. I got to get it right. I got to get it tight. I got to get it, all that. And by taking a step back and be like, you know what? I'm just going to hit play, hit record, and not only stand here and jam basically and just go for it, but also be on the spotlight and on the pressure of there's actually people that are going to be watching me, and they're going to see what's going on behind the scenes. They're going to see my flaws and my imperfections. But at the same time, knowing that gives me those little glimpses of moments. You know, those are the moments that we get when musicians perform. And I'm experimenting right now with all this. As if you're paying attention and you're seeing all these things that I'm posting, it's all just to learn more about just, experimenting. And with that being said, I will stop ranting, but thank you all for joining. And if you're watching this later, or you're watching this now, Meg, I saw that you also sent me a message. DM me on Instagram because I would like to get more people on my mailing list because I have a lot of really good things coming up, and I've been saying this on all my live streams, and I'm starting to cultivate some emails, and I'll soon be ready to start letting everyone know because I also want to give away some of the music that I've been working on here before it goes on, whether I choose to or not, if it goes on to like Spotify or YouTube or whatever, I want to be able to give it to you first. I want everybody that because you're what's important. You care, you're here, you're watching me right now. Very important to me. I really appreciate it. So I want to be able to let you know how much I appreciate it by giving you things that I'm working on and and hopefully some more. So thank you for those fire emojis, whoever's sending them. I really appreciate it. And we will end the stream now. So without further ado, last Last Human Songwriter, episode 5. Bye bye, rock and roll.